Okay, great. So let's get started. Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Malloy Industries Masterclass on your value proposition, how to make sure it's working, led by Rob Bedell. So just an introduction about the Malloy Industries Consulting Group. We help growth stage company executives build remote consulting teams so they can reclaim their time while scaling their business from 2 million to 22 million. Our clients work with over 120 vetted and trustworthy fractional executives so they can achieve business objectives, reach investor milestones, and focus on what matters most. I'm going to drop my email and a link to our website in the chat if you want to learn more. And an introduction about the Malloy Industries Masterclass series. It leverages our experts' decades of experience to teach you all practical skills in free and virtual Zoom workshops each week. And today we are so excited for the masterclass with Rob. Today you'll get practical guidance on identifying what your value proposition is, who your ideal client is, and why all leads are not good leads. So thank you everyone for coming and welcome Rob.
Thank you, appreciate it. Glad everyone is here. The one thing that I like to do is I like to make my presentations a little bit more interactive. I can show a bunch of slides on the webinar, but how many times have we seen that? And really, as we walk away from it, we really get nothing from it. So I like to really, truly make this interactive. So Phil and Tristan, I hope you're willing to participate a little bit in this, because again, what I cover, it's really simple. I'm going to give you some time back in your schedule, which is something that is so precious to everyone, because this should not take an hour. And really what I like to do is I like to break business down in little simple areas to show people that it's really just common sense. I wrote a sales book, but I wrote a sales book for business owners because I did a webinar for a bunch of business owners about why they should have a sales process. Having a sales process that everyone follows the same sales process gets you more customers more often and faster. They kind of like the idea about more money more often and faster. And when I opened up for questions at the end, they're like, well, Rob, when we set aside time for our business development, our customer acquisition, I was like, you mean sales? And you could hear them groan. And I was like, wait, stop. Sales is the lifeblood of your business. What do you think sales is? And I got some of the old answers. It's influencing, it's controlling the conversation. And I was like, wait, okay. You know something, Zig Ziglar, Dale Carnegie, giant among people to this day. But the problem is you took part of their message and you distorted it in the wrong way. So all sales is having a productive conversation to see if there's a reason to work together. Sales is like the human body, 2 ears, 1 mouth. Ask a question, then let them answer and listen to what they say. And what I always tell people is the first thing that you say to people is really important, and that's your value proposition. Why should people work with you? And I've worked with so many companies over the last couple of years on this, and they're always amazed at how easy it is to find it. So Tristan, if you don't mind, who are you? What do you do?
Hi, Rob. My name is Tristan Schneider. I live in Washington, D.C., and I am the principal consultant for my own business, Triali LLC.
Okay.
And we offer consulting services.
Okay.
Yeah.
Phil?
Hi, everyone. I'm Phil. I'm from London, England. I'm developing a startup as we speak. I'm going through the process with a few other people, just trying to really understand like where the value proposition lies and what to get right and what to get out of it and how it links to customer relationships and customer segments and sort of your key partnerships and activities. So yeah.
And that's crucial, especially when you're just starting something up that's really important in having the right value proposition. And Tristan, being a consultant and being a fractional VP of sales and a business advisor and coach for a long time, you have to distinguish yourselves from other people. So you have to say something that's going to make them really go, huh? I did this exercise with an insurance inspection company. I took from a regional company to a national company, grew them 400% over 8 years. Father-son team, they had the best thing in the industry as far as I'm concerned. They had the best product. I sat down with them. I said, why should people do business with you? I wanted to get their value proposition. They said, we have the best time, service, and quality. Time, service, and quality. I was like, okay. I went out to their 3 best clients. I sat down with them. I'm like, listen, insurance inspection companies, dime a dozen. Why do you work with these guys? They all said the same thing. Rob, in this industry, insurance, there's always going to be problems. And when there are problems, we know we can call or email them. They'll find out what happened, who's involved, and how to make sure it doesn't happen again. and get back to us within 24 to 48 hours. I was like, huh, that sounds like good customer service and communication. They're like, yep, they do it. Not a lot of other people do. I asked them all, I'm like, what about time, service, and quality? They all said the same thing. If you're not doing time, service, and quality, you're not working in this industry. So we changed the value proposition to best time, service, and quality that all the other inspection companies were beating their chest about to, hey, we have the best customer service and communication. When there are problems, and there will be, we'll be part of your team, we'll take care of it, and we'll get it taken care of as soon as possible and make it a non-issue. That next year, they grew 26%. The year after that, 63, because they were speaking to the market in the market's voice. So that's the one thing that I'll say to each of you. Tristan, do you currently have clients that you're working with?
Yes, I do.
Okay. So what I encourage you to do is go out and talk to them, ask them why they work with you, ask them what they find valuable, because what you just said to me is the same thing that everybody else in your industry is saying. Does that make sense?
Yeah, makes total sense. That's part of my plan, actually. It's the value I'm hoping to get out of this is to help me draw insights in talking to clients or potential clients around what my value proposition should hone in on.
And you know something, I have over 30 years of sales experience, 28 of business leadership, but it's different for every industry. It's different for every business. So what I tell you here is not something that I'm going to give you the magic key that you turn and magically it opens up all business to you. But I'm going to give you the exercises and the tools to go do that. Your clients will tell you why you're valuable. And the problem that most companies get stuck into is they start speaking in their voice and not the customer's voice. I've worked with a company that did marketing services for orthodontists. That's a very competitive industry if you guys are not familiar with it. And I sat down and I was like, why should people do business with you? And they went through all these things, the technical aspects. As we build the website, we push this, we do this. And I was like, orthodontists don't care about that. And they're like, what? No, they should. Like, no, they don't care about it. All they care about is putting butts in seats. Can you get more clients sitting in them so that they can help them out? How can you show them that you can do that? Once I started working with them, we were able to reduce their sales cycle 8 to 10 months and increase their customer base 33% in 4 months by speaking to their audience in the right voice. So Tristan, I highly recommend you go out to your clients and ask them, ask them 3 questions. What value did you provide that they expected? What value did you provide that they didn't expect? And what's the best thing about working with you? Those first 2 questions, they're just loss leaders to get them talking. They're just make them go, oh, blah, blah. That third one is the hook. What's the best thing about working with you? They will tell you what it is. And when you start using that messaging, other people that are similar to them are going to start hearing them. Does that make sense?
Makes total sense. Yes, thank you.
And it's simple, isn't it? It's not rocket science. In the book I wrote, I have a theme. A lot of the stuff that I talk about, it's common sense. But when common sense becomes common practice, that's when you find success. Phil, for you, it's going to be a little bit more challenging because you're a startup. What industry are you in?
It's around the environmental sustainability sort of drive. In that space. It's a service. It's sort of like a service-based app. People get rewarded. They do certain things. They help the planet. That kind of stuff.
Now, do you have anyone on the platform currently?
Not yet. We're just going through the sort of the prototype stage, getting the user interface and experience right, and building an MVP. But I've done quite a bit of primary research, like interviews, peer groups, surveys, talking to people.
Now, do you have competitors in that space?
No, interestingly, not as far as I'm aware. Not as far as I'm aware. I've done quite a bit of research. However, I can't see anything at this point. I'm trying to create something like Apple, where you've got a serious moat there. It's hard for people to leave.
And the challenging parts with startups is you kind of have to not be afraid of making mistakes and not be afraid of thinking your value, because you have to start from what you think is important. Why should people be on your platform? Why should people be using this? And once you start building it, and so what I encourage you to do is as you're bringing people on, as people are doing it, surveys. Why are they doing it? What do they like? What do they not like? Yeah. And you're even in a position to sit there and say, hey, listen, you're going to help us build this. You guys are part of our beta program. And so we want feedback from you.
Good point.
And so that's going to be the challenging part for you is like, and I think the key here is one of the things that Chloe said is, who is your audience? Finding out who those people are and really kind of drilling down on them, then doing a marketing surveys or a survey on what those audience thinks important and why. Nicole, welcome.
That's it. Yeah.
Go ahead, Phil. Sorry.
Yeah, the sort of the demographics from this are from I don't know, you could say someone who's got a mobile phone and can download an app. So it might be a 12-year-old, it might go up to a 90-year-old. So the demographics are quite large. However, there's different aspects within those demographics and different value propositions for those people.
Well, Phil, and I want you to think of one thing. It may not be a demographic standpoint. It might be a psychographic standpoint. What are the people's mindsets that are going to use this? So it could be anyone from a 13-year-old teenager to a 90-year-old person. Do they all have the same psychographic profile? So I please don't contain yourself to demographics. Demographics are important in certain areas, but a lot of times I think psychographics are a lot more important to businesses today than demographics are, because demographics can be manipulated. The way people think and their attitude and what's important to them doesn't change. Does that make sense?
Yeah, totally. That's a really good point.
Good. Oops. Sorry, I forgot to shut off my phone. Nicole, welcome. And Nicole, you weren't here at the beginning. I like to make this more interactive. I can show you a bunch of slides and you can see a bunch of slides and wow, that's really impressive. Or we can be interactive and you can actually walk away learning something from this. So how are you doing today? Tell me a little bit about yourself and what you do.
Hi, Rob. Thanks so much. I appreciate the time. My name is Nicole Guanzura. I am just listening in on kid pickup, but I am the CEO and founder of an early career advancement consulting firm, and we really focus on advocating for underrepresented populations, women, first-generation talent, and helping companies strategize on how they intentionally nurture and develop relationships with those populations. So positioning is everything.
Positioning is everything, and you weren't here at the beginning, so I'll kind of restate a little bit what I said. There is no magic key for me sitting there saying, "Oh, this is how you do your value proposition." Each business in each industry is a little bit different. What I've done in the past is I go out to my clients. So an insurance inspection company, I went out to the insurance companies. I said, "Why do you work with them?" What they said was completely different than what the insurance inspection company was using. They were saying one thing, the insurance companies were saying something else. When we changed our messaging to what the insurance companies were saying, they grew 26%, the year after that 63. So the best way for you to find your value proposition, Nicole, do you currently have clients?
I do.
Okay. Highly recommend. I don't recommend sending them an email and asking them questions, because when people write stuff out, they can think it through, they can overthink it, what I recommend is calling them, getting them on the phone or getting a meeting with them in person, sitting down and asking the 3 questions that I said earlier. What value did you provide that they expected? What value did you provide that they didn't expect? And what's the best thing about working with you? As I said before, the first 2 are just to get them talking. It's that third one that's the hook. What's the best thing about working with you? Because that will tell you what you need to be saying to the market for the market to hear you. Does that make sense?
That makes sense. And I love a good survey, but I also appreciate the conciseness, and it's still getting to the point.
Well, and surveys, like I said, people can think and overthink. When you're talking to somebody, what they really think and what they truly feel comes out of their mouth. They don't think, and they just go, "No, this is what I think is great about you guys. Oh my God, you guys saved me so much time. Oh my God, I actually have to do less work to get things done. You made it so much easier. You saved me money." Whatever those talking points are, then you start using that when you speak to your prospects, and they're like, "Oh, that makes complete sense." If we went out to every insurance company and said, "We have the best time, service, and quality," they're like, everyone's saying that. But when I sat there and said, for example, I'm actually working with a coaching platform right now that we're able to work with business owners, and everyone's like, "Well, we can earn you a lot of money. We can do a lot, make you more money. We can make you more money." Business owners hear that time and time again. I changed the messaging. I said, "You know something, Mr. or Mrs. Business Owner, I can save you 2 hours a day and make it to where you can take 1 month off completely free, not calling into the office, them not calling you. Is that something you'd want to do? You all are involved in business. If I said I can get you more money, would you like, okay, yeah, everyone says it. If I sat there and said I can give you an extra 2 hours a day and make it to where you could take 4 weeks, a month, or a year off without talking to anybody at your business, is that something that would interest you? Which is more valuable to you? And I want your guys' feedback. Phil?
Sorry, it broke up there. What did you say? Sorry.
Rob, I want the time. As the guy here who's trying to rock a 5-month-old to a nap while listening to this, I would love a couple hours and a few weeks to just hang out with this little guy.
Yeah, and that's it. And I have one of my many sayings is, take my money, I'll earn more. Take my things, I'll buy more. But don't waste my time, because I can never get that back again. And I think that's the one commodity that people don't necessarily think so much of. So therefore, as I'm coming in and talking to you saying, hey, Robert, I can give you 2 hours a day and get you to where you can take a month off without having to worry about your business. Would that be something that would appeal to you? And Robert, just in case you weren't here at the beginning, I make this interactive. So I expect everyone to participate, because then you'll walk away with something.
Yes, of course, time would be great. And yeah, I had trouble getting in, so I was a little late.
No worries at all. As I said to all the rest, I make this interactive. I want you guys to participate in this. And were you able to hear what I said as far as what you need to do to find your value proposition?
Nope, I just got in maybe a minute ago.
Okay. Well, I'll repeat it again, and again, repetition is going to make it really sink into everyone else. What do you currently do, and what are you currently saying as your value proposition?
So I'm kind of running sales for one company and doing sales for another, but the value proposition is mostly a few things, but saving money and reducing energy consumption is one, and the other is the other company. It's improving your customer loyalty program.
Okay. What I recommend you doing to both of these, and you'll love this exercise, especially you being a sales guy, go out to 3 or 4 of their best clients, ask them what value did they bring that they expected, what value did you bring that they didn't expect, and what's the best thing about working with them. The first 2 are just to get them talking. It's that last one that's what's the best thing about working with them. And I can guarantee you they're going to tell you things that you're not saying right now. And when you start using that messaging on new prospects, people are going to understand, because you're speaking to the market in the market's voice. Does that make sense?
Yep, that makes sense.
Fun exercise, huh? I've done this with every company that I've worked with in a sales capacity. I've always found that it completely changes the way we're going to market, and it makes a huge difference. And they find success in that.
Got it.
Now, I think the next topic, Chloe, was who's your target market? Was that correct? Okay. Tristan, who's your target market? And for you, that's going to be fun, because I've been in your space.
Yeah, that's something we're still figuring out. But right now our target market is probably B corporations or businesses that are trying to focus heavily on sustainable impact.
And why?
Why is that our target market, or why are they focusing on
why is that your target market?
That's our target market because, frankly, at the end of the day, those are the kinds of businesses that our company hopes to serve on a value level.
Okay.
And while we are equipped to help solve impact-related issues, we want to be able to focus on any issue for a business. And so we thought we'd start with companies that are already focused on impact and help them with any problem that they have, rather than the other way around.
So are those the current clients that you currently are working with?
No, right now my current client is a government agency.
Oh, that's a fun one. That can be definitely. Is that your only client that you're working with?
Currently, yes.
Okay. All right. So again, I think how have you been finding that audience that you're looking for?
Right now, I'm focused on leveraging my network and asking around, but also I'm really just cold emailing and LinkedIn people who are tied to those specific businesses, B Corps.
Okay. What educational products are you putting out there to help them?
I mean, I haven't shared educational products with any potential client. However, through LinkedIn, I'm sharing my own learnings through, every other day messaging. It's usually article sharing.
I highly recommend sharing knowledge. I mean, what I'm doing right here today with you guys, it's the value proposition. It's a simple exercise. It's a simple thing that you can do, but it's going to make a huge difference. And as I give something away for free, there might be a time later on you're like, well, Rob did this for us, and my God, it made a huge difference. We want to talk to Rob again. So what I always say is give, offer. Basically, give them some information, give them more information that's going to help them, then make them an offer. So give them information twice, because again, if you guys leave here today, you go out and do the value proposition exercise, and it like makes all the difference in the world. Are you not going to sit there and say, something? I need to talk to Rob again. So in this day and age, especially with social media and everything that we're involved with COVID and basically everyone being at home and now being on videos and not really being able to be in person, now starting to go out into the personal space again, which I can't wait because I love it. You really need to provide value to people. And what I always say is give before you get. If I forget who said it, but if you help enough people in the world, you'll end up helping yourself. So Tristan, figure out what those pieces are. What's that one bit of advice you can get to anybody in that industry that's going to make them go, oh, we didn't think of that before. And oh my God, that's so helpful. Find out what that is and make sure that you have that messaging down. Phil, in your space, have you defined your audience now, and what are you saying to them?
Yeah, sort of. Like Tristan, still working it out. Having a lot more conversations at the moment with individuals and businesses. However, probably the users of this are going to be the general public and businesses from small to medium to large. There's also going to be sort of like collaboration with partnerships who will get involved in this as well, and be part of like the revenue stream. And I'm going out there now just trying to upskill people and share that knowledge about the importance of doing sustainable activities and what it means to yourself, your families, to your business, hitting those KPIs, whether they're ESG or, I don't know, sustainability development goals, and how we can help them achieve that.
Okay.
But it's as basic as that at the moment.
Well, and then what can you give them for free that they can take and go, wow, okay, this made a difference, that it's going to make them want to come back and talk to you?
So, yeah, it's a good point. So the market research I've done, it shows how people value businesses that are clean and that are sustainable and that don't cut corners. And I can show how your revenue increases by doing these sort of things. Like giving them that information, show, listen, you need to do X, Y, and Z. You'll have a better customer base, a more loyal customer base, sort of along those lines.
Well, good. And again, I think that's the way to start. Again, you're in a startup, so that might change 3 or 4 or 5 or 10 times the process. But again, going out and when you focus on helping others and just what is it that you're doing that's going to make a difference in their lives, it will come back to you. I'm a true believer of that. Robert, now you're in a little different boat. Now, what are you looking? Are you looking to get new people that you're doing sales for, new clients in that capacity? What is it that you're looking to do? Who's your target market?
I'll focus on the one that I spend most of my time on. So, our target market is mostly food service, groceries especially. So, and we're trying to help them save inventory and the like with our IoT sensors.
Okay.
And so we do, we go to, trade shows. We've got an inside sales group, sending tons and tons of emails. And then we also, just send a lot of emails ourselves, and just a lot of, just a lot of contact and a lot of cold calling type activity. And, referrals are certainly the best approach in our world.
Yep. What's the one thing that you can give your audience, your target market, give them for free, that they're just going to find so valuable?
For free, that's a good question. That's a tough question in our world, because it's truly a where we benefit them is when we after we install our service. It's they probably know more about their business and quote unquote refrigeration than we do. So I don't think we can add a lot on the education side. We can help them, like, and we've done webinars where we kind of show how stuff like what we have can benefit them. But so maybe that's the best education we can provide.
Yeah, webinars are a great source of giving away something for free. It's like, okay, what are your problems? And yeah, and I don't mean to say this in a bad way, but you're giving your audience a lot more credit than they probably should get.
You're probably right. But yeah, I guess the one thing I'll add is we like to share case studies too. So yeah, we've got a lot of those that I think our folks probably do learn a decent amount from.
Okay, well, yeah, and the case studies are important to say, because again, people can relate. Yeah, I do have this problem. This is a problem that I'm having that's costing me money. And because I'm losing product because it's not held at the right temperature. So it's just again, finding that one thing. Go out to your clients that you're currently asking, ask them those 3 questions. What value did you provide that they expected? What value did you provide that they didn't expect? And what's the best thing about working with you? Take that last little bit and see if you can work that into something that they can get for free.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yep. Quick question,
Good.
Rob.
Yeah.
With you're saying give, then make an offer. If you think of it as I'm trying to think of it as like a service. Like if you've got an app and you've got an offer, you've got a value proposition there. Could you use a freemium model, for example? So you're giving them something for a month. Yep. Then you might reward them in a certain way. That's like another sort of give.
Yep.
And then you do the charge. Then you charge. So you show them what you offer, what you've got to give, what you're willing to give. However, at the last stage, you're like, listen, this is what you've got to pay.
Yeah, because basically,
services.
Yeah, you gave them the app for free. There's a give. Basically, they used the app. They got the reward. Wow, okay, that's another give. It's like, okay, I see the value of this now. Now it's going to be $9.95. Whatever the charge is per month.
Yeah.
I mean that's a great way to get into that market, because of the fact that then the more and more people use it, the more and more. And the one thing with that is make it a community if you can, where it's like their friends and family can see what they go and, oh my God, they benefited this way, they benefited that way. And the more and more interactive you can make it among the community, especially with apps, the better off you're going to be.
Yeah, that's a good point, because it's got a big social media slant to it as well.
Yep.
Cool.
Well, great, guys. I want to be able to give you back a half an hour of your day if that's possible, or if you have any other questions, definitely let me know. And you can always connect with me on LinkedIn. Just look for Rob Bedell. You see the spelling right there, and you can easily connect with me there. And if you want to further this conversation, be happy to speak with any of you.
Thanks so much, Rob. Really appreciate it. Especially appreciate the questions asked clients and the give offer.
It's a simple thing. It's a simple, isn't it? It's just like, but as I said in my book, when common sense becomes common practice, that's when you find success.
That was great. Thank you very much.
I love it, Rob. And I think you quoted Zig Ziglar earlier when you help enough other people get what they want in life, you'll get whatever you want.
Yeah.
So I love that as a way to live your life for sure.
Definitely. All right, everyone.
Take care. I'll see you later.
Thank you, guys.
All right.
Thank you. We'll send a follow-up email as well, everyone. So thank you for coming, and thanks, Rob.
Yep.
That was
No,
great.
thank you guys for having me. Yeah, it was fun. And like I said, I like to make it more interactive.